some of the stuff you maybe wouldn't use if you had to buy it, like pay it. But we put $100 a night for a free room. I forget what it is. $10 or $15 for both of us if we get a comedy or whatever the buffet asks.
Yeah.
No, we keep track, and we're ahead of them. We'll always be ahead of them in the comp stuff. No matter what, the cash will go up.
I used to blow off compressors. And they just quit.
I'm not much of a gambler. I never played.
I'm not gambling. That's what I say. I'm just there
Playing.
In the comp stuff for a long period of time. I'm not giving them any money. They're basically paying me to sit there, in a sense. But
Keep those bells ringing.
if you go and play the damn blinky light ones, you know, the regular slots, back out at 88%, you put $100 a night.
Everything is running.
That chews up money fast. But they really love those guys. I mean, they'll if you're a big gambler, I'm not giving them. They'll send it. They're basically limo to the airport, pick you up, and bring you there. They don't do that to us. They know that they don't get much out of us because they can keep track now. They can track it.
Well, that's always makes me a little leery of the things, you know, that because when I play, sometimes we go in and we play some machines and we don't really know how they work or anything else like that. But if we play something simple and all of a sudden I get up, I'll just take my money and leave. Like, it doesn't matter. I buy $10 worth of credit. And if it goes up to 15, I just leave. And they don't like it. They really don't like giving me the money back again. But
they always get their money. They don't worry. They always. The percentages say they're going to get their money.
Yeah, it's in the small casinos that you know, like the roadside small town things. You know, not the big ones. They're the ones that really kind of resent it because they figure you're coming in with a lot of money they're going to get. I don't. I always take their money.
No. We have no system other than we play as close to perfect as we can. And I know the percentages.
Okay, so where's your wife?
She should be here any moment.
But she better be here.
Isn't there some kind of a?
I hope she is, because I didn't bring any topics.
Like, don't you worry that they just, you know, they're the end of the month, they need more, and they'll just.
No, well, they can't change the percentage on the poker machine. They can change it to a different game, and those poker machines some of them have 15 different video poker games on them. But it's posted. It's right there. It says you get 3 of a kind.
She's doing bookkeeping and administration for them.
And they're not allowed.
That's more of her skills.
She's put up there.
Right.
They can't bump
She's
people.
a bookkeeper and does immigration, does translations.
Well, yeah. It's locked in. So
it's locked in what they pay, but your hand is not locked in. It's being dealt by
it's
the
random.
machine.
It's random.
Well, that's the question.
They can't do that either. Those casinos, if they ever get caught doing that, they lose everything. They're not allowed.
No one would go there anyway. If they got caught, no one
if
would.
they got caught by the regulations or the regulators, they'd be banned. Whoever owns it is banned for life. And why would they cheat? Because their average return is, say, 90%. So if you're sitting there, or like if the machine's not you necessarily, but the machines are fully loaded and busy, and they're playing quarters.
Where were you at 1 o'clock?
You're paying. Every time you push the button, you're betting $1.25 because you got to bet full coins. $1.25 push. Boom. I play at a rate of about 700 games an hour. That's how I play.
Thank you.
So you take 700. Let's make it easy. 800 at $1.25 is $1,000 an hour that's going through the machine. Based on 80%, they keep $200 for every hour I sit there. Okay, isn't that? I lose my percentages.
Anyway, they make some money.
They're guaranteed to make money over a long period of time.
And all your luck is whether it's you or the guy down another machine.
I'm guaranteed if I play forever on that machine perfectly, I'm guaranteed to lose 14, 16%. I know that because statistics will tell me I'm going to lose 16% or 0.16%.
So that's you got to walk when you're ahead. That's the
No,
whole thing.
I don't. It doesn't matter to me because
Yes.
I hope that you are gonna let Yuya sit there.
No, we're gonna have her right there.
right there.
But I brought in a speaker so everyone can hear her.
What? No podium?
You didn't see me playing with the speaker? I'm like testing.
Here she comes. She's here.
All right.
That was a great show last night. She did well. Her dance troupe did very well.
Much better looking than you,
Oh yeah.
and snappier dressed too.
I would have to.
Good morning, Yuya.
So we're just about to get started, but I was thinking you could stand right here.
Oh, did you get a new one?
No, no.
I never noticed it. It's the same as this one. Oh, you don't have a keyboard. I guess I did notice it then. I thought you got one with a keyboard.
No, I didn't.
I'm already on the record.
Okay, well, I don't care.
Okay.
I just want to say something to the group. I
Please.
just want to tell you guys that
You can use the microphone if you want. It's right there.
Well, nobody's listening.
nobody's listening. Hello!
Hey!
I just want to tell this group that not only are you people with big brains, you're people with big hearts, and today I'm picking up the first aid kits for the police. Thank you so much.
How very awesome.
That was my high school teacher voice.
It was. Yeah, it was scary.
I want you.
Bill scared everybody into line with the way he yelled.
I literally have frozen students in mid-step.
Okay, well, I will introduce us. This is the San Carlos Computer Club, and I am Scott Stimson from International Computer Solutions. And I would like it if you had computer issues and looking for help anywhere on the internet, you get a hold of my offices. Today, we have a special presentation from my wife. Some of you folks know her name's Yuya Marquez Stimson.
Yay!
And she's going to talk to us for about a half hour. She'll give a presentation and then she'll be open to questions, and we'll just get started with her. And then afterwards, we'll go into some computer topics if we have time. So I'll leave it to her, and I'm going to sneak behind her and move a camera pointed at her. Go ahead.
Buenos días. Can you guys hear me okay?
Oh, yeah, it's too loud.
No, that's too much. That's good? That's good.
Yeah, you probably don't need to be so close to it.
How about there? That's fine?
That's better.
Okay. So, okay, buenos días. As my husband introduced me, I'm Yuya. How you guys doing today?
Move back.
Too loud?
Too loud.
You're too close to it.
Yeah, just step back away from me.
Just gonna rub it. Like that. Maybe.
Farther. We need a camera on that.
There? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
How many does it take to put in a light bulb?
Very little, but yeah, there is a little.
Alright, so I have a few brochures in here that I want to pass around. I'm going to give it to you. You tell me if those are enough. Well, it's about what I do. You know, all of you know that I work with immigration, paperwork. I help people to become residentes, either temporal or permanente, or if you want to become a Mexican citizen, I can do that for you too. But today I want to talk about INAPAN, which is the discount card that you can get after you get your residency, even permanente or temporal. I know that there is a lot of questions about it. So I have a brochure in there with a little bit of resume in it. So let me grab my copy. I we can go from there.
Hey, Scott,
Yes.
can you switch up the microphone a little bit? 'Cause she's hard to hear her.
We should.
From there?
She doesn't have to bend over.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. How about there? There?
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. Great. So, are you guys aware of this discount card for senior citizens? All of you?
Barely.
Where'd you get that?
Barely.
Somebody just brought
You
them around.
have one?
We went have a
The
look at
same
it.
as the Ensign card?
It's the
Don't
same
have
one.
it, right?
Before it was
I
called
don't know.
INSAM, ENSAM. Now it's called INAPAN. As you can see in your, the sheet that I just gave you, INAPAN, which in Spanish is Instituto Nacional para las Personas Adultos Mayores.
Mayor.
You can get it over 60, and that will give you a lot of benefits. But you have to be either residente permanente or temporal. You cannot get it as a tourist. If you got it as a tourist, you will have, right now it's, our new president, is socialized, and he wants to get everything right from the beginning. So, yeah. So, anyway, so I want to start for telling you that if you have your temporary card as a resident, temporal or permanent, you can go get it. And in here, I put some of the benefits that you can get when you get that card. Some of you told me that you already have it, right, Chester? Do you get much discounts on it?
I've never had a discount.
You never asked for discounts?
Well, the only opportunity I had that I thought I could get one was the property taxes, and they won't allow.
Yeah, they will.
No, they won't.
Well, but Jerry, have you had any recent experience with that? Because what we're hearing is that it's no longer effective, and that people that have gone for the property discount haven't been able to get it.
About a month or so ago, I did.
Oh, good.
You're a citizen, that's why.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I'm a citizen.
That's,
That's a difference.
yeah, that's
Okay.
the difference in with this card right now in this municipality of Guaymas. It varies depending on the municipality, yes.
I did get a discount on a bus out of Mexico City going to Puebla,
Yes.
but here they aren't very good about honoring a discount places.
Yeah, it varies depending on the states. But if you do present that card, they should give it to you, the discount. And if they don't, you can tell them that you will complain because it's national, it's all in New Mexico. And you're supposed to get it. So there is an 800 number that we can call. Every time that you guys don't get a discount where you're supposed to be getting the discount, it's an 800 number that we can call and say which bus line specific thing gave you that, or which airline, because it's applied to for the Mexican airlines, like Aeromexico, all the little airlines in Mexico, it should give you a discount. I mean, probably will not 50%, it will be like 10 or 20%, 15% sometimes. But it will give you some. Yes.
Which grocery stores?
Well, it's gotta be a specific one. You have to ask. You have to, some of the grocery stores, they will have like a little, card, or like a little, let's say, on the side of the door said that they accepting discount from INAPAN, but it is really like grocery stores, like for, where they get like a bunch of food, like discount food already, and they will give it to you as a discount. Like I know in Guaymas there are like two grocery stores that they do INAPAN cards, but they are like in the really poor sectors of Guaymas. They can go and they can get, the INAPAN. And one of them is Son, is the name of the grocery store. And it's on Street 10 and Avenue 5. It's like way over there by the stadium. It's that grocery store that they can give discount to senior citizens with that card. And they will give you like 10% discount in your groceries. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And to get this card, it's free. You just need to go and apply for it, and it's free. They will not charge you anything to go get this card. You just need to go with the right information and with the right copies, and get there on time, because they only open from 8:30 to 2, and they only give 10 tickets for people to get the car a day. So if you get after there, like if you get there and they have already give the 10 turns, they will ask you to come back next day.
Where is it?
It's kind of, they have moved several times, but now I think they have their office as in Street 10 and Avenue 5th. And it's, are you guys familiar with where EAMS, the main EAMS is, the main EAMS hospital is behind that.
Behind Eames.
It is kind of a weird, they're located in a weird street. It's only one-way street, and the parking could be a little bit challenged in there, but, and it's in Beef. The name of the building is Beef, which is, if you guys are familiar with the area, Beef is the protection for people and for kids and for women. So it's a big building, but it's parking space in there is kind of bad.
Typical Wymus parking.
Is it past the hospital?
Yes.
When
No,
you
it's
turn-
before.
when
When you
turn
turn
left-
into Cerdan, you go towards Cerdan. You come to Street 10. There is a stoplight. You're gonna turn
Yeah.
to your right. So it's gonna be like it's like 5 blocks to your left before you get to the hospital.
Right, it's on that street, one-way
Yeah.
street. Is it
Uh-huh.
by Mina, the glass, or past it?
No.
No. I think you are
Wrong
way
place.
in the other side.
No,
10.
Mina's right
It-
by the hospital,
Yeah.
on the back street of the hospital.
Yeah, but no.
But no, it's not. It's not.
but no,
It's not
that's
by
not
name.
where it is.
It is a big school in the corner. So it's huge high
Google Earth, Google Earth.
Junior high school in the corner, and it's in the same street as that.
Okay. I
So,
know where it is.
yeah. Yeah. Yes,
Is this the same as the ensign card?
it's the same, different name, but
Okay.
it's the same benefits, everything, but it's different name. That's it.
Do you have more of those handouts?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Can I have one?
Yes.
You can have mine. I would like that.
I have more over here if anybody else. Okay, so,
Get your butt up.
I had mine, so.
Are the old cards old buyers?
Well, that's a good question.
yes, you have to have the new one with the new logo.
Oh,
with
the old cards are no good anymore?
No, you have to have the new one.
I just used mine about
Uh-huh.
a month ago.
You have a copy of the new one, what it looks like?
That was for your
I
taxes.
don't have a copy of the new one. Let me see that one.
That's
your old one?
Yeah, real old.
Yeah. I think what they're doing right now is they're, with this new thing, is they checking that you have the same address, that you have, that you're still here with us, and that nobody else is using it for you. So you need to,
Hey, Jerry, be careful with a card that old. You look too young to have that card. They're going to think fraud.
since 2000, yeah. So, that's the new one, right here.
Oh, Jim's got a new one.
Yeah, that's the new one.
Isn't mine new? It says Inland Palm on it.
Yeah,
But
that's
it's
the new
really
one,
old.
in advance. That's, this right here is the new one.
How long have you had yours, Judy?
A long time.
A long time. Hey, have you had it reissued?
No.
Thank you.
I haven't either.
It's good for life.
Maybe this says an expiration date. No.
No, it doesn't have expiration date. It's just like, sometimes with the change of government, they change logos and they change
But I've had it a
the
long time.
structure and-
They're choosing when you expire.
Right.
That doesn't mean that you cannot-
They're good for life, but they have an
you
expiration
can use it.
date.
They ask you, have you get a new one? Can you get a
So
new
it
one?
does have an expiration.
And mine's older.
It's Inland Palm. It's in-
No, this is good too. This is good.
The old ones say not Inland
Yeah,
Palm.
they're a little different, but that's good too. his is really good.
No, it is good.
It is still good.
It's good.
So this is a federal program.
It is a federal program, yes. And varies to state. It's federal programs, but each state has their own, because of the municipalities, the property taxes in each municipality.
Yeah, I was just thinking about property taxes.
This is good too.
I'm impressed by how many of you already have this
Yeah,
card. I
that's
had
good.
never heard of it until she started helping people.
Wait till you're 60.
Yeah. No, that's a good one. It has, as long as it has a name in a pan, you're good. If it has a different name, it's not good anymore. It has to have the name in a pan, with the new name on
Do you
it.
have the 800 number to call if somebody does?
I don't have it with me right now, but I do have it. I should have put it in there, and I did.
I have the same thing. You have two? I have a question about the requirements.
apply for that?
Yes.
Well.
When it says bank statement, is C-Banco considered a bank? They're talking about this. They're still talking about this.
Yeah.
No, we still talking about in a pan. That's not as important now. You just need to take 3 pictures. These are the requirements. Everybody have it?
It's the US.
You will need to take 3 pictures. First of all, be 60 years and over. That's the first requirement. Be 60 years and over. 3 photo holders. Tamaño infantil. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that size. Tamaño infantil is the smallest one. Little small one. Copies of ID, could be passport or your driver license. The copy of your temporary or permanent card,
Bacon, yeah.
which you need to have. CURP. Anybody familiar with what is CURP?
Yes,
CURP?
yes.
I don't know what it stands for.
Yeah.
It's like your social
It's the
security
number
number.
that the Mexican government gives you to identify you. That's your number, permanent, forever. And it was given to you by the immigration agency. And that is what it's gonna, that number is like social security in US. CURP is like the social security but here in Mexico. So on that, it has to be updated when you go on to apply for this. So you gotta go into a website, a government website specific for that, and put your CURP, your current CURP, and it will update it. That means that it went to their database, and they will give you this really nice printout of your new CURP with a Mexican seal in it, and very nice colors. So if you already have that, they will ask you for the upgrade of your CURP.
Yeah, is that the curb number that's on your Permanente?
Yes, that's the one.
It's on the bottom.
There's only
Yes.
one number.
So if you go to a website which is sonora.gov.mx, you go there, it says CURP, and you click in CURP, and it will take you to another website of the government of the whole Mexico, and you put your CURP name, your CURP on a little tag, and click send, and it will update your CURP, and it will give you a new, very nice, like huge page with CURP and all your name, your date of birth, and where you're from, and all of that.
So where do you go?
To Sonora, www.sonora.gov.mx.
And then what do you do?
And then that in there is you're gonna go to Trámites, Trámites, TRAMITOS, and then that you go to CURP. You're gonna see a little thing that says CURP, CURP. You click on that, and that will take you to the Mexican database, and you just put your CURP in there, and it will update it.
At what point does that number come to you? Is it when you receive your Permanente or?
Yes, when you receive your temporary or permanente, they gave it to you. They assign it to you right there.
Would
Yes.
you give the website again, please?
It's sonora.gob.mx.
Sonora.gov.
Yes, because we
Yeah,
are in
B as
Sonora,
in boy,
You called your that
G-O-B.
verification code is from here, from Sonora.
gobernador.
Yes.
It's GOB as in boy. Not V, but B.
Buses will honor.
The other B. That's right.
Shut up.
Who said that?
Buses will honor the ensign card or this new card.
Yes.
Yes.
They should. They
Okay.
should.
Airlines don't seem to do that.
That's right.
Nope, doesn't go there.
That's right.
You've had problems using it with
No,
airlines?
Polaris
Wouldn't take it.
Oh, Polaris wouldn't take it.
Volaris.
Polaris?
Volaris wouldn't take it.
Airlines, the airplanes don't honor it.
When it's in Mexico, they
In Mexico.
Volaris.
Yep.
Volaris, Hermosillo, to Guadalajara, no,
they don't honor for adulto mayor.
no.
No.
Well, you should put your queja where the queja is. You should have and they're saying that they have not, honored that. They should honor, give you a discount for adulto mayor.
I thought it was because I made my reservations on their website and it asks how you want to pay and you pay in dollars and I thought maybe that was why.
No. It should have like a little description in there,
Senior
discounts, and in
citizen,
there it
yes.
should be for senior citizens.
Right, it didn't do anything, nada.
So is that something that you would call the 800 number for and report that that's
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah, it should. You should say which airline it was that they gave you a discount, or you're supposed to get a discount for senior citizens here in Mexico for flights here in Mexico. I don't know about international flights, from Mexico to other parts, but for here from Mexico, they should give you some kind of discount. That's the reason this card is for benefit everybody. Anybody else have more questions about this INAPAN?
Is there a fixed rate for that discount? Or is it-
No, it varies. It depends on the company, but they should give you some kind of discount. Buses and everything, like local buses, I know that they gave 50% to senior citizens. If you present that, instead of 18 pesos, they only charge you 9. So if you present that.
Make sure you get that.
To go to White House. Oh, yeah,
And people
The
have
local
six.
buses, they gave you 50% discount. Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry?
When she used the bus,
Yes.
it only worked for the
As long
first
as you
two
present that
travelers.
card, they should give
In
you.
line, the only.
You have to present
really?
the card though. You have to show
I
them
was
the card.
supposed to find tickets.
Don't go into bus thinking that just because they're gonna give you discount. You have to present the card, and they should give you the discount. So, yeah. Anybody else have questions?
Is presenting just a matter of there's the card, or do you have
Yes.
to register it?
No. You just present the card, and you just give them the drugstores as well. Yes.
Do you think they would be able to use that card in the drugstores here locally in San
You
Carlos?
can try it. You
Yeah.
should be able to
Yeah.
use it.
Oh, awesome. Well, I like seeing all these nodding heads. I don't know anything about
In some
this.
municipalities, you even get discount on water and the water bills. So it just depends on the municipality that you're in.
But the water bill, you have to be citizen though.
No.
No.
It's for everybody. It's for everybody who has that card, for senior citizens.
The water company says you have to be a citizen.
Here.
That's what I said. It depends on the municipality. Unfortunately, here in Guaymas, the rules have changed a lot.
So it's a crapshoot.
Yeah, it's just, they don't want to give those.
The
those
Wymus
discounts
thing again.
anymore.
Yeah.
US,
You don't wanna
with
give
that
your store
card,
money
which
away.
is a local thing.
Too many old people in San Carlos.
Yuya, are you going to talk about your help getting FM3s or?
Anybody have questions about that?
Sure.
I think everybody in here has some kind of
Hey.
residency.
I think everybody's interested in your information. I think the real question is, are we done with this topic,
Are we
or
done with this topic?
did you?
And
Anybody have any
have
more
clear
questions
this
about this?
thing?
We're done.
Hey, I just have a couple of questions. I'm curious, you mentioned the 800 number that you can report not being able to get a discount, and it sounded like you could go to the website and do the same thing.
Yes,
Can you do that for any place that you've tried, like government or private businesses?
Private businesses, no. For government business, like public, business. Government
Or
business.
government regulated businesses?
Yes, government regulated business.
the water
Yes.
company?
So we should be able to go and report that we didn't get something from the water company.
You should. You should. Here,
Or the electric company.
Statewide, like we are
Pretty soon you got no
senior.
water.
Good luck.
Pretty soon,
Good luck.
pretty soon then you have
That
no
will,
water.
it will not work in the power company.
They'll give you a cheap
Really?
rate with no water.
Yeah.
It's interesting to have a federal program that wouldn't be supported by the electric company.
Yeah. That's a different issue.
I guess you could report it still.
You live in the dark, too.
That's right, that's what
What
I
is it?
figured.
Gas stations.
No,
report
it
that
will
you
not
have no
work
water.
with them
Yeah.
either.
Not even in Amex.
Not even in Pemex.
Paperwork.
No, not even Pemex. Yeah, you pay what you use in there. So, any more questions about this specific thing? Anybody has questions about immigration? Everything is still the same?
The fiscal responsibility, your annual, it used to be like $30,000 or $2,500 a year or a month in order to qualify for a temporary or a permanent income.
Your income,
Yeah.
what kind of
You're
income?
talking about the income? I have a table in here, let me show you. Of the, I'll clarify that right now because it's a lot of questions about that income. If you wish to apply for a residente temporal, the monthly in dollars that you should be showing in your bank statement is $1,700, and that is calculated based on the minimum wage here in Mexico. The minimum wage, as you guys all know, have changed. It went up 16% this year. This is the first year that the minimum wage went that high. It jumped that much. Other years it's been like 5%, 6%, 3%, and this year it went up 16%. So it was like a big jump. So it went, the same thing happened to everything else. So if you want to qualify to be a temporary resident of Mexico, you have to have an income of $1,700 monthly in your bank statement per person.
Is that US dollars?
US dollars, per person. If you wanted to qualify to become a permanent resident, you have to have a minimum of $2,149 monthly in your bank statement for become a permanent resident of Mexico.
Does the bank matter?
It does, it does. So when I send people to get, because the first time you apply for a residency, you cannot do it in Mexico anymore. The law changed in 2012. Before you can apply here in Mexico with your visa. Now you cannot. You need to go outside of Mexico to apply to become either a temporary resident or a permanent resident. So the best thing to do, I always send my people to Nogales, Arizona. They're really nice in that Mexican consulate over there. And they're always really polite and really nice. Yes. That is correct. You need to go to a Mexican consulate outside Mexico, yes. And so everybody who I've been sent there, they've been granted the permanent residency, which I've been really surprised. But I always tell them, if you have investment, that you can show a statement of your investments, that if they're more than 50 or 60,000, that you can show, they will grant to you the permanent residency right away. They say,
Like a house.
yeah, But something that you can show that you have an investment plus your income every month, they will give you the permanent residence right away.
Do you mean a house in Mexico or a house in the United States or Canada?
Any investments that you have, doesn't matter where. If you can show and pay out, they want to see that you have some kind of investment, they will grant you the permanent residence right away. So yeah, I've been having a lot of those, yes.
What are the tax implications if you have that? Do you have to pay Mexican taxes?
No, you don't, because you applying. Let's be clear. You applying to live in Mexico as a retiree, like you don't working in here. You bring in your income from the state to live here. If you want to work, that's a different issue. We have, it's something else that you have to do to get your permit to work here in Mexico. But you come in here just to
Who wants to do that?
be happy and dance and play.
I don't recommend it. It's not a really good source of income.
Yes. That's what they want to see. Yes.
Are there any requirements to speak Spanish?
Only when you want to become a Mexican.
Really?
They will-
Jerry, shoot off some Spanish.
Sí.
Buenos
Buenos dias.
If you want to become a Mexican, then they will. But the law has changed in there too. If you are 65 and over, they will not require for you to have 100% of Spanish. They will, they have a little bit of lineage in there. So yeah, even when you become a Mexican, you have to take a test when you are going to become a Mexican. They gave you like a book like that big, where you can read and be familiar with it, and they will give you a test. They will give you, but even that is all in the computer. So yeah. It's very
Did you have to go to the kitchen for that?
I do have a copy of that in my office.
Oh, you do? So about how much does it cost?
That is a Spanish test, yeah. And the test is only 5 questions, but specific ones. They can, ask you anything. They can ask you what is the name of the taco that sells in Guadalajara. You need to know that.
And how much does that cost?
To become a Mexican resident,
Run
around like
a citizen.
Mexican citizen, like run around $600.
Okay.
But it is a wait of maybe like a year and a half. You are a Mexican, right? How long do you have to wait? It depends.
I was very lucky. I applied in December and got it in April, but that was
There you go.
4 years ago.
There you go. Yeah, it depends how much work they have. It depends the change of government.
1,500, I think it was, and it's been a year. It'll be a year at the end of this month, but the paper is in Hermosillo.
There you go. It depends. And for him, for example, I think it was the change of government.
Yes.
So it depends what's going on at the time that you apply.
Is Hermosillo the farthest you have to go to deal with this, or do you have to go to Mexico City to deal with this? No,
it's Hermosillo. Everything's done in Hermosillo now. Mm-hmm.
And what are your responsibilities as a citizen?
Of Mexico?
Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, you have to be alive.
You don't rob any banks.
Don't rob any banks.
You can't call the police at Semana Santa. You're not a Mexican if you're calling the police at Semana Santa.
My experience with it, Judy, the only thing they told me is that when you're in Mexico, you're a Mexican citizen, so use your Mexican ID. Credencial, your passport, your driver's license.
Okay.
But I was also told recently that if you're a dual citizen, you do not have to have Mexican plates. From the horse's mouth, I was just told that.
What's the horse's mouth?
Immigration.
Okay.
In the free zone, yes.
Yes,
In the free zone.
How about taxes? Filing of taxes?
You don't have to. You don't have to file tax if you're not working in here. You don't have to. You just getting you Mexican citizenship for you can vote here in Mexico. You can be more. You can make decisions
What about the trust? Do you need a trust
you don't
after
need
that?
anymore, you don't need a trust anymore.
So there's a big
You are
incentive for it.
But
$600
however,
to get that off your back.
but your kids, if you passed and you give that to your kid's gonna have to put in a trust
At that point.
at that point. Okay? So it's a little bit convoluted there because they have to go through a trial. You have to pass it from a Mexican to a U.S. citizen. So you have to go through a little bit of trial.
So the trust goes away when you become
Yes.
a Mexican?
Yes.
No, it doesn't not go away, you just don't have to.
You just don't have to have it.
But I've heard some Mexicans automatically get a trust, I don't know why, but anyway,
Well, I
no,
think-
it doesn't
I'm not
automatically go
sure.
away.
If I sold my place to a Mexican, that would just, they wouldn't need the trust.
They wouldn't need it, but they can have it.
No
That's
problem.
what I heard.
It's like it's gonna be a traslado de dominio. Like you have to pass it. It has
What
to.
would the advantage for them
You have
having
to
a
get a
trust?
lawyer
I don't
for
know.
him to. You know,
I heard security or something, I don't know, I can't
If he
imagine.
can't be sued,
yes.
maybe.
mhm,
We
yes,
can't hear
he's fine.
when
You
everybody's
go and
talking.
he's down. You know, he's there like that. But if you're
Remember that.
Mexican and you die, your husband have to get that house. They have to go to a trial, a little bit of trial to get it. Yes, that's the only thing.
No, I'm just asking you to step just a hair back from the microphone.
Anybody else have questions about immigration?
Yeah, why isn't Scott a citizen?
He doesn't want to become a citizen. I've been asking him and asking him.
Yeah, the truth is that there wasn't a lot of advantage to it. I'm assuming as I get older, there's going to be more advantage
Yeah,
to
he's
it.
thinking about it now. I think we're gonna start.
Everything I own's in her name.
And then it will pass.
It keeps
your
a happy marriage.
Like the US.
And then it goes to your kids who are Mexican.
Or who are Mexicans, that's
Yeah,
right.
both my kids are duals. So. Yes, you have a question over there in the back, sir? You had a question? No? No, nobody else. Something else that I wanna, yes.
I was gonna ask about the C Banco, is that a real bank, or would you have to use a different bank?
No, that's a real bank. Yes.
Are you talking about using bank statements for your permanente?
Yeah, cause we don't really get a
And
statement from them.
and the C Banco works for that.
That will work perfect. Yes. Not a problem. Yes. Something else that I want to talk to you guys about it is I don't know if you guys are aware of our socialized health program named Seguro Popular. Any of you guys are aware of this?
No.
Seguro Popular.
No.
No? Nobody?
I have social insurance, I have the insurance, is that?
Well,
This is in contrast to the EAMS.
yes, this is something different. It was put back on when Peña Nieto was our president. He put this social program, health social program for poor people. The ones that didn't have EAMS, they didn't have ISTE, or they didn't have ISTESON, which are the three main sources of help here in Mexico. IMSS is for all the workers, ISTESON is for the government workers, and the other one, which is ISTE, is for the police and fire department, everything to do with the National Guard. It's those three different health providers are in here in Mexico, but he created a fourth one named Seguro Popular. Popular Seguro, you can call it like that. He created the fourth one for citizens or residences of Mexico that they didn't qualify, and those are the three, that they were not police, they were not firemen, they didn't have a work like with the compensations and the health and medical provided to them. So he created this other health service named Seguro Popular for the rest of the poblacion, for the rest of the citizens that they were poor and they didn't have a way to do it. So a lot of foreigners with temporary or permanent card they were taking full advantage of it, which it's totally okay to do. But that's one of the stipulations, that you have to have a permanent or temporary card with it.
None of this applies to just a visa that you get at the border.
What was that?
None of this applies to anyone who has a visa that they receive at the border.
No,
like this.
none of these apply for tourists. Visas is just for tourists, in Mexico. So none of them apply to them. You have to have your permanent or temporary card. None of you are aware of this?
No.
So, okay, so Ruben Black, yes.
I don't think this applies to anybody here in this room because of the income level to be here in Mexico. I think it does apply to people that we hire.
No.
Is that right?
No. Well, the reason I'm bringing this issue up is because I become aware of it might change this year with our new government. So I didn't know if anybody of you were aware of this. And I know a lot of U.S. and Canadian citizens with a temporary or permanent card. They've been using it here in Guaymas locally. They've been going for medical appointments. They've been using it for 3 months and for medicine and all that. And that's something that you can get yearly. Like every year you have to renew it. And it's under $500 per person a year.
So if I could summarize, this is healthcare that was being offered to temporary and permanent residents where they could pay into it. It was healthcare that was available in Mexico for people that didn't qualify as either a government worker or having income to pay taxes, to pay Social Security. This is what was left over. All those people that were left over without health care could buy this plan. And what's become in question recently is whether they're going to continue to provide this to people that are not Mexican citizens, whereas they have in the past. Yuya's actually been doing a lot of research trying to sort this out, because locally they're trying to reject people's use of, because they're not Mexican citizens, but it's in direct conflict with the Constitution that makes healthcare a human right.
Yes.
And the reason that this program exists is to make sure that every human body in Mexico has some sort of health coverage.
Does every health card?
That's interesting.
Go ahead. I'm not the one to direct questions to because I know nothing.
Does every healthcare provider have to be part of this program? Like any doctor or any pharmacy or?
No. This is a different program that it was set up 4 years ago. This is a different programs that if you are a resident of Mexico or if you are a Mexican that doesn't have any healthcare provider, you can apply to this, specific to this program, and they will give you help, doctor's visits.
If I may, is it similar to EAMS where they've got their own hospital, they've got their own doctors, they've got their own pharmacy?
This is not EAMS. This is a separate identity. This is a different hospital here in Guaymas. It's all over Mexico, but here in Guaymas, I'm talking specific here in Guaymas. This is a different one.
So it's a hospital outside of the EAMS hospital.
And
Yes.
what's the name of that hospital?
The name is Hospital General. It's in Street 10 and Avenue 4.
What's the name of it again, please?
Hospital General.
General Hospital.
Hospital General.
So if you were paying into this program, you would go to a completely different hospital to take advantage of these services.
Would you qualify if you're a foreigner?
Well, that's the point that she's making, is that she's very aware of a number of Americans and Canadians that have been using this as backup health care, and that their status needed to be temporary or permanent resident to take advantage of it.
How about age?
Doesn't matter what it
Because
is.
there was the one that you had to apply for.
What he just said was very important, I think, but I don't know what he meant. It's a backup. It's a backup health care.
That's correct. A lot of people were going and getting into this just as a backup in case that something happened to them here. They have to go to an emergency room. They have that provider, that health provider that they can take them. You know, the ambulance can take them there, give them the primary cares, and then that, you know, get them in their way to wherever they're going, and they will not cost them anything. Where do you apply? In Guaymas, in the hospital, in Hospital General. That's where you apply. Yes.
Is there a minimum, is there an income requirement? Maximum income?
No. They will question you there. How much is your income? And depending on how much you say, that's how much it's going to cost you. But it cannot cost you more than $300 a year.
I mean, like if you're above a threshold, are you not eligible?
No. If you are here in Mexico and if you are resident, temporary, or permanente, and you do not have an IMSS, ISSSTE, or ISSSTE, one of those three, you can go and apply for this one. Seguro Popular is the name. This one, Seguro Popular, is the same thing. It's for the rest of the people that doesn't have those other three, that doesn't qualify to have those other three health providers.
Yuya, maybe it would help to clarify that all the Mexicans in this group here can immediately take advantage of this healthcare system because you're Mexican. The only thing that's in question right now is whether they're going to limit it to just Mexicans. And like I said before, that's an issue in the air because it goes against their constitution. So up until recently, it's never been a question. Permanent and temporary residents have always been able to take advantage of this.
What's the Constitution say?
That healthcare is a human right.
Yes, a human right.
What a concept.
So when you go to apply for this coverage, and they ask you questions, for example, they ask me what my income is. I don't have an income in Mexico. Is that true?
Well, you do have an income. You will say, I'm a retiree.
I'm a
I have
retiree.
This much of income, and they will, what they do, they put it in a, they put those numbers in their computer and they're like multiply, blah, blah, blah,
Right.
and that they can tell you, this is how much you need to pay.
Okay.
You know, my experience has not been that more than $200 that people have to pay.
It sounds like they have a maximum that they expect.
Uh-huh.
And then depending on your financial situation, you may pay less than that.
Yes. Some people doesn't pay anything. Some Mexicans, they don't pay anything because they just don't have the income.
And how is that hospital?
The people that they have used it, they say it's pretty good. It's, you know, like everything, it's slow, you have to wait for appointments, you have, but if you do have an emergency, some couples, some Canadians, they were using it and they said that they were really fast in case of emergencies, you know, stuff like
My
that.
wife went there and
Did she? Good.
Oh yeah?
she cut her finger pretty bad, and we went to Social Security Hospital, and it was really busy, and so we went over there and they checked her right in, and a doctor took care of her, stitched her, gave her a shot, and then gave her stitches in her finger and everything. It was like 50 pesos. It's been a while back, but it was really inexpensive, and there was doctors everywhere. It was,
You had a card, or you just went and paid as you went?
Paid.
Paid.
Yes.
Oh,
I just walked in.
If we qualify, and become part of the program, and then they change the rules or the regulations, will they still honor that?
Yes, they should honor that. Yes. It's like I telling you, in our constitution is healthcare is a primary thing here in Mexico. It's like everybody should have a way to, you know, go to doctors and have healthcare.
And how much is this, do you know?
My experience has been no more than $200 per person that you have to pay as you go there.
200 pesos or?
Dollars
Oh,
per
dollars
person.
for the year?
For the year, yes.
Yeah, again, Linda, it sounds like they've got a maximum amount that you might have to pay. And then based on the income you report, they may decide that you have to pay less just because of your income. Yeah.
Yes.
What about orphans through the DEEF program? We have some problem getting health care for those children.
They should have Seguro Popular. They don't have Seguro Popular.
I don't know. to somebody, it's hard to get them into a doctor's appointment or.
Yeah.
So I should suggest that to the
Yeah.
administrator then?
They do have Seguro Popular, those orphans. The only problem is the wait. If there's an emergency or if, you know, if they need healthcare, you have to go there and be online. You know, sometimes they don't like that. You know, they have to, it's a long wait. That's the cons of these kind of programs, of these kind of social programs. It's like you have to wait your turn. Sometimes it's 2-3 hours there, so. Questions?
We saw in Hermosillo, we saw 50 people waiting to get into the hospital on the street. And that was exactly the hospital.
That's the way it is. Socialized. But normally, but if you do, you know, have the patients and wait, they do provide good help. They do have good doctors and good specialized, you know, specialists and all that. So, yeah.
And that was 2 days ago. 2 days ago, 50 people.
Yeah. No, I believe you. I believe you. That's. Yeah.
Which hospital, Bob?
Hermosillo, he said, right, Bob?
Hermosillo, yes.
General hospital?
The general one or which one?
No, it was one of these hospitals, the government hospital.
No, they don't pay anything. That's the reason when you go there, they give you a questionnaire to fill. And in there you say how much is your income. And you have to provide paperwork like where you live, proof of residency, you know, like with the water bill, electric bill, or, you know, phone bill. So from there, they you know, will know if they are lying or if they are true or, you know, things like that.
So they don't turn poor people?
No. Some of these people, they don't pay. They pay zero. They don't pay anything for the health provider, yeah.
I'd just like to give one example of payment. My wife went through some surgery this year, and I thought you had to pay cash at the hospital in Hermosillo. So I'm running all around, there was no ATM in the hospital, there were no banks around, I'm going crazy. And I was sitting in line by the checkout office, everybody was using a credit card. So I had a lot of cash like this, and then the rest went on a credit card. But credit cards are absolutely taken. This is at Cigna Hospital. SEMA Hospital. So everybody is paying with credit card. So do not worry about rural full cash.
What's the SEMA? Is that a government?
It's a private hospital. Very popular with the gringos.
Very good, very good.
Questions? No?
Did he say he paid with a credit card?
Yeah.
Different. We're here on a tourist visa, and we saw on the bulletin board the other day that somebody had been refused because they didn't turn theirs in. They were refused. Are they starting to do that now?
They are starting to get computer programs at the border, which they didn't used to have before. So now you're gonna be in a system. That's the latest thing that they have told me that they already start. Like before, which is like a piece of paper, they will do it, they will give it, and they will forget about it, and they will not problem. Now they are putting you in a computer.
So you have to turn
So you have to turn it
As you leave the country.
as you leave the country.
Can you mail it back to them or to a consulate or something?
No, because it will not get to them. Yeah, you need to get it to them. Yes.
Okay. My brother was here for a week on a tourist. He left on the bus and they didn't stop anywhere. So what's he do now if he wants to come back?
They will never deny you the entrance to Mexico. They will never do. What they can do in there is they just give you a little bit of hard time.
And a fine, maybe.
Well, what about the person who had the experience?
No, I don't think they even. They're just gonna, make you wait a little bit while they go back and, la 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 la, and then they come back and they will give it. They will never refuse the entry to Mexico. We are a friendly country. They will never do that. The only thing they can do is like give you a little bit of hard time, and they will issue him a visa.
Well, and a fine, right?
It could be. They could be a little fine.
Like how much?
Yeah, we just came
Someone,
Saturday.
someone
No,
said
no more than $10.
that,
We
that you can
just came
ask the
through
bus driver
Saturday.
to stop,
Listen to him.
and they're supposed to stop for
They
you to do
supposed
that.
to stop
If-
to get a visa coming into the country
No, to go out.
and to go out
Yeah.
to put your visa out. They supposed to stop, and if they don't do that, we need to report that every time.
But I
because
think you'd
it-
have to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to ask the bus driver. And you have to remind him because they forget. They forget and they should go, as fast as possible. You know how they are, like, they're always really fast. But I
Even though they
have
stop.
some experience
It's the
with
one
people
thing
coming
everybody's
all
in
the
a
way
hurry
over
to do
here.
around
I
here
don't
is
have
drive.
their visa. I have to send them back again.
Unless you're behind them and in a hurry.
But they should have to.
There's always somebody in a bigger hurry.
Only one here.
No, that's not.
Oh, hey, let's.
No, it's 180
Wait.
days, and you can go out for 2 days and come back and get it.
You're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to do
No,
that.
you are
The
not.
law has been checked.
If you went on an
That
airplane,
is
then
not
you
correct.
get a new 180 days.
You
There's
come-
no limit on how
If you
many-
come and go by airplane.
I heard it was one visa per year.
That's
Yeah.
not correct.
I heard it was
We
2
went-
visas
we
per
went-
year.
We drove in, we flew home at Christmas. They took our
That is just
visa
not
What
and
they've
gave us
done
a
is
new one
put
when
up
we came
cement
back in
barriers
February.
when you're trying to go up, and it's a pain in the butt, because you've gotta go up and then turn around and
I
go
always
back to
thought it was
21K,
6
park on
months
the
out.
wrong
No, it's
side of the
180
street,
days.
and climb
You
over
always
the
had to do
barriers.
that.
to
Just
turn
hoping
around.
they'll match up my,
I mean, you always
my
had to do
car
that.
import, the sticker.
You don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
Well, the visa that you get when you came into the country is supposed to be for 180 days, which is 6 months. With multiple entrants, that means that you can go back and come back, go back and come back in the same visa for 6 months. Once the 6 months are up, you have to turn it back in.
Correct.
Yeah,
You
but
turn
when
right
we
around
came
and get
in-
another.
We came in Saturday and got them visas for 6 months.
Yes.
And we asked the fellow at checkpoint 21 if we had to return them, and he said, no, it wasn't necessary.
Because it expires and they just, that's it.
I know.
But that's not
You,
true.
That's
yeah, you better return.
Selling it.
Yeah, it depends on who you run into.
it's
Yes.
it's a good thing to have these kinds of conversations because people will just say things, but it's good to know what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, well, we
And-
asked him, and he said, no, it wasn't necessary, because they do have that concrete barrier, which makes it almost impossible
I
to
know, yeah.
return.
They will tell you what you wanna hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To get you to go away.
Prevent you from doing what you're supposed to.
Maybe I missed it. Where
They,
do we
they
hand
don't
it
get in
going
trouble
out?
for giving you bad
If we're
information.
going to Nogales, where do we hand it
It's
in?
the same way you came in any port of entry, any port of
At the
entry.
same
But it
place
is
where
on
you
the right
got
barrier
it.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the
At the-
left side. As you
left
going
side.
out, it's in the left side.
You have to make a
Same
U-turn.
one. When you
West,
came in, you
west,
got
turn
in,
and come back.
if you were coming in, you got into the left side.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't wanna walk across the highway.
But that's,
Yeah,
there's a
there's
big
two
concrete
places that
barrier
you
that
can
they
get
apparently
it.
they
As you
put
coming
there.
in where the light,
I used
the
to,
stop light
before I had
is,
a
you know,
car.
the Duana, you can get it there
U-turn and
as well.
No,
And you can drop it off there too, or
Thinking
you can get
ahead,
it
you
in
can park
21.
about
At 21 at the little booth.
Yeah,
Okay.
on the left.
What about if you have a temporal or permanente when you come back in?
You
You
don't
can
have to do
just go.
anything, yeah, she's go.
You just
They
come
don't
and
have
go?
a system yet. They're supposed to be, long time ago, they're supposed to have a system that you just, like a scan, that you just scan your, I don't know if you see your temporary cards, they have a scan code
Yes.
in there. That's supposed to be used like that, like you can scan it and go and scan it and then wait out, and scan it and you wait in. But they don't have that, so where you gonna do that?
Right.
Nowhere.
Okay.
So you don't have to.
That's
I
just
ran
what I wanted to
across
know.
the problem years ago with a tip, temporary import permit. I was a resident, temporal,
Mhm.
and I was supposed to have that tied to my tip.
No, you're a visa, you're
And so
visiting.
when we left the country, we didn't turn our tip in.
Oh, watch the, yeah, okay.
And we end up selling the car in the United States,
Uh-oh.
got the sticker back and all that paperwork, and they still got me as having one vehicle. And I've sent them the copies of the tape.
Remember what they told me
can't
about
get that
when
re- how
his
do you get
dad,
that
he won't leave
released?
enough.
Yeah.
You can't. Yeah. They're two different things. They are like, aduana is one thing, immigration is other thing.
Wouldn't changing his new passport would have a different passport number on it? Wouldn't that actually?
No,
reduce it?
because it's in his name. It's, the name is
Oh.
still the same. Yes. It might change. It might change now with our new president. You know, every 6 months if something changes. So
On
I'm
that
waiting for that.
subject, have you heard anything about them extending past 98?
Not yet.
Nothing.
It's still the same. Everything's still the same. You know, our president, actual president, wants to get everything at once, put everything together, like, you know, to make it smoother. So we'll see.
So, with a permanente, I am unable to drive south of 98 without a Mexican plated car. I think that anybody
That's right.
that's thinking about that, and they've already gone, but that's an
That's right.
important thing
That's
to
right.
think about.
You cannot pass it off.
Also, that's true of going
Gotcha.
east of
Exactly.
Highway 15.
Yeah.
Catch a bus with your discount card.
Like going to Lake
Catch a
Novia,
bus
gotta
with your
be-
discount
Oh,
card.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or rent a car.
I wonder if you can rent a card with your discount
Yes,
card.
you can. Yes, you can. They will give you a discount.
They will?
In the rental car.
There you go, almost here I come.
Yes. Anything else?
Yeah, I have to renew my passport in Hermosillo.
In
Do I
Hermosillo.
need an appointment for that?
Yes, you do. Unless it's an emergency, they will get you right away in. But if not, you need to get an appointment.
Don't take your purse.
Don't take your purse.
Yeah.
Don't take your purse.
Just like going, I knew that.
Anybody else have any more questions, you guys? Think our time is up?
All right.
Time is up. Thank you.
Well, if you have no more questions, thank you, Yuya.
Any more questions? Let me know.
Well, and you can find her at our offices, 226-0209. Any of your immigration, translation, bookkeeping, she does all those skills as well. She has successfully used up our entire meeting time.
You're off the.
Oh, well, thank you. I'll have to bring her more often, I guess.
Well, at least, why don't you stay home and just send her?
Are you signing off now?
Yeah,
Oh, go ahead, and then I'll ask.
Oh,
Very welcome. Anybody else want some
Watch your cord.
oh yeah, watch the kibble here.
You were supposed to remind me.
Hey, we'll call this the end, even though it's a little early for our normal times. This is unless there's something very specific I should address. Did anybody bring something they wanted to have answered before we leave today? Doesn't sound like it. Okay. Well, yeah. Thanks, guys. This has been the San Carlos Computer Club with special guest Yuya Marquez telling us about immigration stuff. I'm Scott Stimson. You can find both of us at my office. You can inquire internationalcs.net, email Scott at internationalcs.net, or Yuya at internationalcs.net. If you're interested in these recordings or podcasts, check out our Computer Club website at scclub.org. That's it for now. I'll see you guys next Tuesday. Until then, stay calm, tech on.
Tack on. You won't see me.